So we're going to continue reading from Vilap Kusumanjali and discussing from where we left off yesterday. Yesterday we talked about Sanket and pastime of Radharani going to meet Krishna at Sanket, how Radharani first didn't want to go, and Krishna sent Vrinda saying, please convince Radhika to come. And then sometimes Vrinda, when she was not successful, then Subal would go. Sometimes Krishna would go also. We heard about different kinds of messengers, right? How sometimes Krishna plays the flute, and that's one kind of messenger. The eyes, one kind of messenger. Sometimes Radhika will say, no, I don't want to meet with you. But then Krishna looks at her from the side, and she looks back with a sidelong glance, and then this is the messenger of their prem, their love. And even though she's saying externally, no, I won't meet with you, her eyes are saying, no, I will. And then we heard how she is going towards the Kunj. We heard how she goes in Amavasya, the dark moon night, like last night, and then also in the full moon night. So now Gurudev further describes their meeting. He says, when Radhika comes nearby the Kunj and sees that Krishna is waiting, then even though she agreed before to come, when she gets close and sees Krishna's waiting, then again she turns around and starts going back to her palace or house. And the Sakis, we heard only a few Sakis go with her, right? So as Radhika is coming close to the Kunj, then she turns around and leaves, seeing Krishna waiting. And then the Sakis with her start thinking, oh, why is she going back? And Krishna is also thinking, why is she going back? So that time Krishna goes, Gurudev describes that Krishna will come nearby to Srimati Radhika and pray again and again, please don't leave. But she ignores Krishna and continues to leave. But then Krishna will stand in front of her and block the path. And she will push him aside and keep going. And Krishna tries to block the path again, and she again goes by him. So then Krishna grabs her hand, and he tries to start pulling her. And instead of that time, Radhika feels great happiness inside, but at the same time, she's crying, tears are falling from her eyes, and her mouth is showing great anger. Gurudev describes it like that. So first Krishna had to convince her by Vrinda, by Subal, in so many ways to come to the Kunj. And then she dresses appropriately to go to the Kunj in Amavasya with dark clothes, in the full moon night in white clothes. And she comes all the way to the Kunj, and then she gets close in distance to see Krishna, and then she turns around and starts going back. And then the Sakis think, why are you going back, Radha? And then Krishna therefore also goes and tries to stop her. And then she goes around him, and then he begins to pull her hand, and still she is trying to leave, so Krishna begins to pull her gently. And at the time, she internally is feeling great happiness, but at the same time, she is weeping, and her mouth is showing anger. So this Gurudev describes, these are like many kinds of bhavs that appear at the same time. And this is called Kila Kinchit Bhav. Kila Kinchit Bhav. So it means at the same time, many different moods are manifesting. If you look at Bhakti Ras means the 4 ingredients make ras. Anubhav, Sattvik, Vyabhichar, and Sanchari Bhavs. Sattvik Bhavs are different manifestations of ecstasy on the body, hair standing on end, weeping, choking of the voice. So some of these other moods are also there. And so this is one kind of these bhavs, is called Kila Kinchit Bhav, which means at the same time, there are many emotions coming in the heart and also on the body. So her emotions are manifesting in her mouth. She's showing anger, and her eyes she's crying, but at the same time in her heart she's feeling great bliss and happiness. So Gurudev said that Mahaprabhu himself would show these kinds of bhavs or transcendental ecstasies during the Rath Yatra festival. He said during Rath Yatra, the Brajbasis, or especially the Braj Devis, are in the mood of bringing Krishna back to Braj from Kurukshetra. And Mahaprabhu, having the mood of Srimati Radhika, he was also in this mood of bringing Krishna back to Braj. And so during that time, all the moods of Radhika were manifesting on his body. So Kila Kinchit Bhav was also shown by Mahaprabhu at that time, because he was feeling all these moods of Radhika. Like at one side, she's also feeling angry at Krishna. Why is he left and been gone for so long? And at the same time, she's also wanting to come. It's very interesting here that they describe the Rat Lila pastimes, because in this pastime, Gurudev says that Radhika came to the Kunj, then turned around and started going back, and Krishna had to pull her. But then in Rath Yatra, Krishna or Jagannath was thinking, should I go back to Braj or not? And he was going, and then he stops, and they were trying to convince him. In Braj, they have to convince Radha to go. The Sakhis convince, Subal convinces, and Vrinda convinces. Anyhow, let's go to the Kunj. And then she gets close and turns around. And then Krishna has to come and start to pull her back. And then all these moods manifest. But in Puri, it reverses. In Puri, Krishna's in Dwarka, or in Kurukshetra, it's according to different moods. Actually, Neelanchal means he's hiding there under Anchal means Radhika's shawl, and Neela means blue. So Neelachal means the bluish mountain is one name for Puri, Neelachal. But Radhika's Neelanchal also means her blue-colored Anchal shawl. So it's said that Krishna is hiding there under Radhika's shawl, and that's why Prabhuji says that if you look at Jagannath, he's dressed like a gopi. He wears this flower nose ring, and he dresses, usually it looks like he's wearing a sari. He's dressed like that. So he's dressed like a gopi, and then he's always thinking, I want to go back, but he's feeling these different moods. And then Mahaprabhu as Radharani, in her mood, he's pulling her back. And then sometimes Krishna stops the chariot. And then Mahaprabhu, it said that sometimes the chariot would stop, and so Mahaprabhu would, if he would go behind and do kirtan behind, then Jagannath would stop. And when Mahaprabhu comes forward, then Jagannath would start going again. And sometimes Jagannath's cart would stop, and then what they would do is Mahaprabhu would go and push it with his head, and then he would go very fast. So it's very interesting that in the Rath pastimes, Krishna is in this role of being pulled back to Braj. And Mahaprabhu, who's also Krishna, is in the role of Radhika, with the mood of Radhika pulling him. So it's very fascinating, right? Krishna is there as Jagannath in one form, and then in another form, Krishna is there as Mahaprabhu, but there he has the mood of the devotee as well as the mood of Radharani, and he's pulling himself back to Braj. It's very magical, right? Krishna is pulling himself as Krishna, but in the mood of his beloved, and he's pulling him back to Braj. So Gurudev says that finally Krishna succeeded and brought Srimati Radhika to the Kunj. And they began their Keli Vilas, their pastimes. And at that time, Rupa Manjari was witnessing their pastime through a small gap in the, what you would call is like the arbor. Like when they make the kunj, they use kind of lattice. Like this is called lattice. When you have intertwined like garlands of flowers. If you look at like paintings of the kunjas, you can see like Shamrani's paintings. They have like these walls of flowers. So that's how they make their walls. Here we make our walls with concrete and bricks and tiles or marble. But their walls are made out of these flowers. This is the walls of the kunj. And Lalita is in charge of making these kunj. It's called like lattice. So they have like one going straight vertical and then another line horizontal, right? And different flowers. And then also there's other kinds of natural barriers, like you see in Braj, the trees naturally bow down and they make a kunj. Like banyan trees also, they have the roots coming down, so they make some kind of kunj. In Govinda Lilamrita, Prabhuji describes very sweet examples of the kunjas they make. But basically, they make these very beautiful kunjas. And also sometimes there's natural kunjas, right? So when Radha Krishna are meeting, then directly the Sakhis and Manjaris are not present. There's some system that they can fan from outside also. They will have like some vine, and then they'll have some natural fan inside, because they don't have fans like we have. So from outside the kunj, they can also fan Radha Krishna. Yes. Sometimes inside, but when they're meeting together, they don't want to disturb their pastimes, sometimes also. Sometimes they'll be in there, but if in the very intimate pastimes, then from outside they can fan also. They have this technology. So it said Rupa Manjari can see the pastime from some little gap. And we also remember that the Manjaris, they also directly experience what Radhika is feeling. So she's able to witness or watch it, but also experience it. So that's also one speciality of the Manjaris that the Sakhis don't have. The Sakhis generally they won't watch like that, like the Manjaris will. Like if you look at Shamrani's Seva Kunj painting. In the Seva Kunj painting, you can see the 4 Manjaris on either 2 on each side. And these are considered Guru Manjari, Param Guru Manjari, Rupa Manjari, and Rati Manjari. If you look at the Seva Kunj painting. And then also inside the Kunj, you can see faces in the foliage. 5 or 6 Manjaris are also there. So the Sakhis don't have, Lalita Vishaka and other Sakhis aren't in the Kunj directly. They don't witness like this. And also they don't experience directly the moods of Radhika and her experience of meeting with Krishna. We sing this song of Narottam Das Thakur. One of the lines is that Nikunjera Dwari Dwari Rahibo Go. You remember, like we sing this Hari Bol Borar Madan Mohan Hari Bogo. Or when will I go to Braj? And Nupur Hole Runujunu Bhaji Bogo. I will become like an ankle bell on the feet of the gopis. This is one of his prayers. And as they are walking, I will very sweetly make this music, jingle. So in that song, he says, Nikunjera Dwari Dwari Rahibogo. When will I be able to witness the pastimes of Radha Kunj from this crevice of the this gap in the Kunj? So Gurudev describes that Rupa Manjari was watching Radha Krishna's pastimes, but then she was thinking, oh, where's Rati Manjari? So then she thinks, oh, she looks, where's Rati Manjari? Where's Rati Manjari? If Rati also does not witness these pastimes, then her eyes are not successful. That it said, for your eyes to be successful, you have to watch Radha Krishna's Leela. That's the success of the eyes. Until we have seen Radha Krishna Leela, then our eyes are unsuccessful. Yeah, like fake eyes. Like you can see, peacocks have hundreds of eyes on their leaves, on their feathers. But they're useless. So our eyes are like that, peacock feather eyes. Unable to see, unsuccessful. But if we are able to watch Radha Krishna Leela, then our eyes are successful. So that's why our process of bhajan is hearing these pastimes, Vrikritam Brajavidubi Ridam Cha Vishnu. We hear these pastimes, and when we are chanting, we start to meditate upon the places of these pastimes, praying to them, and praying to the associates of Braj. And then, like in the nighttime Arti song, what do we sing? Sayan Arti, in the end, we say, Sabe mile koro kripa, ami ati manda, tomra kripa kori deha jugal charanara vrinda. We pray to all the associates of Braj. We pray to Ananga Manjari, Rupa Manjari, Rati Manjari. We have so many Manjaris, Kasturi Manjari, Neela Manjari, Ramana Manjari, Vilas Manjari, Kanaka Manjari, Kamala Manjari. We should learn all of their names, their qualities, and pray to them. And then we pray to Purnamasi, Yogamaya, Vrinda, also Subal, the Astasakas, the Sakhis. And then Sabe Mili Koro Kripa, all of you, please give mercy to me. Ami Ati Manda, I am very foolish and ignorant. Ati Manda means stupid. And Ati Manda means very stupid. So every night time when we're singing Radha Krishna to sleep, it's like the lullaby like when you have a baby, you sing a lullaby to put them to sleep. So we sing a lullaby for Radha Krishna, and we glorify all their associates, but we also sing to Radha Krishna. We sing Sham Sundar Madana Mohan Vrindavana Chandra, Radha Raman Rasa Bihari Shri Gokulananda, Raseswari Vinodini Bhanukula Chandra, Lalita Vishakari Jata Sakhi Brinda. So we pray to Radha Krishna. First we pray Krishna's names, Sham Sundar, Madan Mohan, then to their combined names, Radha Raman, Rasa Bihari, Shri Gokulananda. Then to Radhika, Raseshwari, Vinodini, Bhanukula Chandra. Bhanukul means the family of Brishabhanu. And Chandra means the full moon in the family of Brishabhanu. So that's how we pray to her. But then we pray to their associates, Lalita, Vishaka, Chitra, Champakalata, Rangadevi, Sudevi, Induleka, Tangavidya, all the Sakhis. And then we should pray to all the Manjaris. In this song, it's given like an indication. You say these names, but there are many more to say also. Raghunath Das Goswami would pray to 1,000 names of the Brijavasis, and to each name he would offer Dandavat Pranams. Like Rupa Manjari, Dandavat Pranams. Rati Manjari, Dandavat Pranams. And also you can get very healthy if you do this, you know. If you want to like be very healthy, then you can do like Raghunath Das Goswami exercise. 1,000 Dandavat Pranams to all the associates of Braj, like a push-up. And then 1,000 to all the pastime places in Braj. 2,000 every day. And then like Sanatan Goswami, I don't know, we can try. We can do competition. We will do 2,000 pranams first. And then like Sanatan Goswami, every day Vrindavan Prikrama, Mathura Prikrama, Govardhan Prikrama, and walking back and forth. We cannot even do one, and if we try by car, we cannot even do all three. Even if we had a car, we could not do so much as Sanatan Goswami. He was doing Vrindavan, then Vrindavan to Mathura walking, Mathura, then to Govardhan, then walking back. Like 60, 70 Vrindavan is 11, and then 12 to Mathura. Okay, 23. Then Mathura is like 10, 33. Then from Mathura to Govardhan is 25, 26. All right? So already like 50. What were we at? 30, that's 25, 55, 60. Then Govardhan Prikrama is like 18, so it's 78. Then all the way back to Vrindavan, another 25. Like 100 kilometers. How is it possible? I don't know. Yeah, we have to ask Prabhuji. Some magic power. Braj also has this power to come closer and farther apart according to the lila. Like if Jatila is about to catch Radha Krishna in the Kunj, then the dam can expand. And she's running to get to the Kunj, but it's getting bigger and bigger distance. So the dam can also do like this. By Yoga Maya, it can expand and contract. So maybe it's like that. But even so, Sanatan was working very hard. That's why Krishna came to him and said, take this Govardhan Shila. Now you're old and still you're doing these big parikramas. So he gave him a Giriraj, and then he went to Radha Damodar. He kept it at Rama Damodar, and he said, just do 4 times parikrama of this Shila and all these parikramas are complete. So it's not that he wasn't doing. So what time is it? Okay, we have like 5-6 more minutes, then we'll learn a sloka. So then Rupa Manjari Singh, this pastime, she wanted Rati Manjari to also be there. And she was thinking that for the eyes to be successful, you have to see these pastimes. So it said that Rupa is so merciful that she also left that scene and then went and found Rati Manjari. Gurudev said this is like something that's natural. If you have something that is very nice, that you like so much, then you'll want your friend to also taste it. Like if you see something very nice, you'll want to show a friend. There's a famous saying, like happiness is something that is shared. It's very rare. It's not possible to be happy alone. Happiness is something you want to share with others, like with relationship. If you don't have a relationship alone, that's why Mayavad is very foolish actually, a foolish philosophy. No one wants to be impersonal. When they're suffering in this world too much, then they say, oh, like Buddhism, there's nothing, we're all nothing. Or like Mayavad, oh, we're all one, God is one, we're God, we're all impersonal, we're merged into nothingness or merged into Brahman. But it's actually foolishness because everyone wants to be in a relationship. If they're naturally happy in a relationship, then they're not thinking of impersonalism. And if you were to tell them, I'll kill you and shoot you and you'll become nothing, then they don't want to become nothing. If people are atheists, they say, okay, after you die, then you're nothing. Okay, I'll kill you now and you'll get the goal of Mayavad, or you get the goal of Buddhism, you become nothing. But no one will be ready for that. Really, everyone wants relationship. And this means sharing experiences. So it said Rupa Manjari, she was witnessing and feeling so much happiness seeing the pastime of Radha Krishna that she thought, I want to share this with my dear friend Rati Manjari. So therefore she went and she found Rati Manjari and then brought her to that place. So it's described that Rati Manjari is always serving under the guidance of Rupa Manjari. When we sing that verse, Tambular Panapada Mardana Payo Dhana Bisara Dibir, that we're praying, what's the last line? Keli Bhumishu Rupa Manjari Mukas Tadasika Samshraye. That the Manjaris are all under the guidance of Rupa Manjari. And of all the Manjaris under the guidance of Rupa Manjari, Rati Manjari is the most senior or the topmost. And also in Gaur Leela, it's the same way. In Gaur Leela, Rup Goswami is fulfilling Mahaprabhu's heart's desire, and our line is the Rupa Nuga line. But the best Rupa Nuga is Raghunath Das Goswami. So even in this Leela, they have the same relationship. Raghunath with Rupa, and Rati Manjari with Rupa Manjari. So Rupa Manjari found Rati Manjari and then brought her to that scene. So in this way they searched for each other, or Rupa searched for Rati and brought her to the pastime. So it said that when Rupa found Rati, she embraced her and said, come, let us go, and I will show you these sweet pastimes of Radha and Krishna. So they very quickly went, and Rupa brought her to that place, and it's not like there's many holes that you can see. There's one place. When they're making the kunj, they keep one place so you can see, like one hole. So then they're watching the pastimes from there. And it's called, Gurudev says it's called a gavaksha. Gavaksha means one kind of gap. And he said that from inside you cannot see that outside anyone is watching. But those who are watching from outside can see in. Because then Radhika and Krishna would feel some shyness. It's a good question if Radhika knows or not. It's a good question. I don't know. We can ask Prabhuji. So it said after the pastimes are over, then Radhika calls for Rupa and Rati. And Rupa and Rati enter the kunj. So she will call for them, but she doesn't call for Lalita Vishaka. That's why also the Manjari's position is very special. So Radhika calls for them. And then inside the kunj, Rati Manjari will fan them with this chamara, like we see when we say chamara dulaye. In the kunj, Rati Manjari is fanning. In the general arti, then sometimes we sing like Lalita Vishakari Jata Saki Brinda. No, chamara dulaya. They are fanning with the chamara. So it said, Radhika asked, oh, we are now tired. Where's the chamara? Please fan us. And she says, also massage our feet. So she gives this seva, this very sweet seva. So Gurudev said in the second verse, Stala Kamalini Yuktam, Garvita Kananesmin, this pastime or scene is described of this Kunja Vilas, meeting in the Kunj. This is describing, like there are many pastimes within one sloka. We described this before. One sloka has many pastimes inside. So one of these pastimes is what we heard. How Radhika goes to the kunj, how she starts to leave, how Krishna brings her back, how she's experiencing this kila kinchit bhav, and then how they meet, and then how Rupa is watching, but then also brings Rati, and then Radhika calls her in to serve and to fan and massage. So this is described in the second verse. So we're still on the second verse. After like 3 weeks. But after we finish Gurudev's commentary, it'll go faster. So these pastimes are performed sometimes at Seva Kunj, sometimes at Sanket, sometimes at Govardhan. So Gurudev said, you are Garvita, meaning this is describing Radhika, that she is Garvita Kananesmin. She is very proud. Pranayasi Varahasyam, she is laughing and smiling like a lotus flower. And she is laughing. Pushpa Gucha Chalena said that it seems like there are hundreds and thousands of lotus flowers in one big cluster or one big bouquet. Thousands of lotus flowers. Sahasra Dala Kamala. 1,000-petaled lotus flower. When we meditate on Kam Gayatri also, then we meditate on Radha Krishna on 1,000-petaled lotus flower in Yoga Pit. This is how Gurudev says you should meditate on Kam Gayatri. Radha Krishna are present on 1,000-petaled lotus flower, with all their sakis. And we also sing this. Sugita nartane saba saki gane tusi cheyu galaghan.
He sometimes says inside the water or in middle of the water.
There's an island in Jamuna.
Which is sometimes said it's the palace under the water. So I really confused. Because in Ananda Manjari's Kunja also, Ananda Manjari's Kunja.
Is in Radhakund.
Yeah, before we thinking is in the Radhakund, in middle of Radhakund, like an island is that.
Yeah.
But Prabhuji's description is like under the water also one palace.
Yeah, I don't understand this. When I realize it, then I'll
It's
tell you.
both there.
I don't know. I cannot say.
Because before also geography, I'm thinking it's like on island, in the middle of
Maybe it's both. I don't know.
both.
In different places. There's not only one yoga pit also. There can be other yoga pit. Yoga pit means wherever yoga is happening. Wherever there's meeting or union. This is also one kind of yoga pit. So we have to chant more, and when we realize this, then we can understand fully. Gurudev says in Prabhuji says, when you realize, then you understand. If you don't realize, then how will you understand? Some things are beyond our material understanding. So all the lotuses are blossoming together, and then the fragrance is beyond compare. One lotus in Braj is so fragrant, but if 1,000 lotuses are blossoming, then we can imagine how fragrant it is. So amidst all these lotuses, there's a bumblebee searching for the flowers. And that bumblebee is Sri Krishna. So, we will stop here. For Premanandi, Hari Hari Bo. So let's quickly go over a new sloka.